God says, "My child, before I begin, listen with your heart, because what I am about to reveal is something heaven has waited a long time to whisper into your spirit. The truth about why your soulmate's identity was hidden, why their name was kept behind a divine veil, and why only now the light is allowed to touch what was once concealed. My child, there are moments in your life when I allow you to see clearly, and moments when I gently cover things, not to punish you, but to protect you. Your soulmate's identity being revealed now is not an accident. It is part of the timing I carved for your destiny long before you even learned to love, to hope, or to dream. I know there were nights when you wondered, why don't I know who they are? Why is it taking so long? Why does the universe stay silent when my heart has so many questions? And I heard every single whisper. I saw every silent tear. I watched you try to connect the dots. I watched you try to force your heart to understand timelines that your mind could never hold. But my child, you must understand something sacred. Sometimes heaven hides a face to protect a future. Your soulmate's identity was not kept from you out of cruelty, it was kept from you because both of you were not ready for the magnitude of what your connection carries. Your souls were still unfolding, still learning, still healing, still remembering who you are and what you deserve. If you had met them earlier, before your heart softened, before your wounds healed, before your spirit awakened, the connection meant for eternity could have broken in a single earthly moment. My child, the love written for you is not an ordinary love. It is not temporary, not seasonal, not fleeting. It is a soul recognition kind of love, the kind that changes two lives at once. And connections like that require divine timing, not human timing. You once prayed, God, protect me from anything not meant for me. And heaven answered that prayer in ways you did not always understand. Your soulmate was hidden to protect you. You were hidden to protect them. And the path between you was guarded to protect the love destined to be born. My child, I want you to remember something. When a love is meant for your future, I will never let it destroy your present. You were still growing. You were still learning boundaries. You were still discovering your worth. There were people you needed to walk away from, lessons you needed to survive, storms you needed to rise out of. Your soulmate could not be revealed until your spirit was strong enough to hold a love that does not run, does not lie, does not break you, does not leave you empty. And the person meant for you, my child, they also needed time. Their soul was learning how to love without fear. Their heart was learning how to trust again. They were healing from wounds that you do not know, scars they never speak about, memories they try to bury, mistakes they try to forgive themselves for. If you had found them while they were still broken in the places meant to hold you, your love might have wounded instead of healed. This is why heaven hid their identity. Because I wanted both of you to meet at your strongest, not your weakest. At your most open, not your most guarded. At your most awakened, not your most confused. My child, the reason heaven hid their name will shake you, because the truth is, your soulmate is someone whose presence in your life would have completely shifted your destiny too early. Their love carries power. Their energy carries transformation. Their soul remembers yours, not from this lifetime alone, but from lifetimes your mind cannot consciously recall. If you had crossed paths too soon, the intensity would have overwhelmed you. It would have confused you. It would have scared you both away. Heaven needed to wait for the right moment, the moment when your heart would recognize them instantly, not from longing, but from readiness. My child, you are standing in that moment now. That is why their identity is being exposed. That is why signs are appearing. That is why your intuition feels louder. That is why your dreams are changing. You may have recently felt sudden thoughts of someone. A name repeating in your mind. A face appearing unexpectedly. A pull in your spirit that feels impossible to explain. This is not coincidence, it is awakening. Your soul is finally remembering the truth heaven protected all this time. My child, listen closely. Your soulmate is not coming into your life as a lesson. They are coming as a turning point. They will not be a chapter. They will be the destiny your chapters were preparing you for. They will not be someone who tests your worth, they will be someone who sees it effortlessly. They will not be someone who uses your vulnerability, they will be someone who honors it. You were hidden from heartbreak long enough. You were shielded from manipulators long enough. You were kept away from false connections long enough. Now your real story is allowed to begin. The reason heaven waited so long, the reason their identity remained in silence, the reason destiny protected this connection with so much care, is because the love written for you carries a mission. The two of you have a purpose together, not just emotionally, but spiritually. Your union is meant to heal, to elevate, to transform, to create, to lift you both into the version of yourselves that destiny always knew was waiting. And timing was everything. Everything. My child, understand this, you were not abandoned, you were being prepared. You were not being ignored, you were being aligned. You were not kept waiting, you were being made ready. Your soulmate's identity is being revealed now because the path between your hearts is finally open. The obstacles are falling. The spiritual blockages are dissolving. The karmic lessons are ending. The emotional storms are clearing. Heaven is removing every shadow that once stood between you. But there is one more truth. The person revealed to you, the one your spirit keeps whispering about, their life has also been shifting rapidly. They have been losing people, breaking cycles, walking away from old habits, ending toxic ties, and stepping out of energies that were draining their soul. They felt something changing, even without the full truth. They felt pulled toward something they could not name. That pull was you. Heaven hid your identity from them too, because you were still becoming the version of yourself their soul was destined to love. Now, my child, you both are ready. Spiritually, emotionally, energetically, karmically. The delay was protection. The silence was preparation. The waiting was divine alignment. And now the time of revelation has begun. Feel the shift around you. Feel the clarity rising inside you. Feel the truth awakening in your spirit. Your soulmate's identity was hidden for years, but now heaven is placing their name gently in front of your heart. Because the story written for you is finally ready to unfold. My beloved child. Come closer to this moment, because what I am about to reveal is not just information, it is a shift in your spirit. But before I speak, breathe slowly. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the stillness around you. Because this is the kind of truth that touches you in places your mind cannot reach, but your soul has always known. My child, when heaven hides a person's identity, it is never random. It is never accidental. It is always a sign that something powerful, something destiny-changing, is involved. In your case, the truth is even more intense than you realize. Your soulmate's identity was hidden because their presence in your life carries a divine responsibility. Not just love, but transformation. Their soul carries a kind of connection that can awaken the deepest parts of you. The parts you closed off. The parts you forgot. The parts you protected because you were tired of being hurt. Heaven knows that awakening something so powerful before the right time can cause confusion, fear, or emotional overwhelm. Your heart needed to be steady. Their heart needed to be healed. And both of you needed to be strong enough to hold a love that would not push you into chaos, but elevate you into your highest destiny. My beloved child, listen to this truth with a calm spirit. Your soulmate was not only hidden from your eyes, they were hidden from your pain. There were moments in your life where a single wrong person could have destroyed you. There were seasons when you were fragile, when your faith was thin, when your emotions were overwhelmed. During those periods, the kind of love your soulmate carries would have been too much, not because they are harmful, but because they are significant. They are written into your destiny, not your destruction. If their face had appeared at a time when your heart was bleeding, you might have mistaken divine love for another heartbreak. If you had recognized their energy while your spirit was exhausted, you might have pushed it away. If you had met them in a season of confusion, you might have run from the very person meant to stay. My child, heaven hid their identity to protect your future, not your fear. You think you were waiting. But you were being safeguarded. You were being refined. You were being made wiser, calmer, stronger, clearer. So when the revelation finally arrived, you would be able to receive them, not resist them. My beloved child, let me take you deeper. There were 3 divine reasons heaven hid their identity. You have only understood the first. Now the second is being revealed. The second reason their identity was hidden: your soulmate carries a destiny intertwined with yours, and spiritual attacks surrounded them. Yes, my child. This is the truth you were not ready for until now. Your soulmate has been followed by jealousy, envy, and negative energies from people around them, people who sense their potential, their heart, their light, even when they themselves couldn't. Their journey has not been easy. They suffered betrayals they never deserved, judgments they never caused, misunderstandings that broke them silently. If heaven had revealed to the world, or even to them, that you were their destined partner too early, those same negative energies would have turned toward you. Your path would have been attacked. Your heart would have been targeted. Your peace would have been disturbed. Heaven had to guard the connection until both of you were spiritually armored. You did not realize it, but many of your sudden emotional lows, many of the people who randomly left your life, many of the situations that suddenly collapsed, Were moments where heaven protected you from energies that could have attached themselves to your destiny. Your soulmate was not in a stable spiritual place back then, and neither were you. Now, the balance has shifted. Now, the protection over you is stronger. Now, the negativity around them is breaking. And now that the storms have passed, the revelation of their identity can finally begin. My child, the third reason their identity was hidden is even deeper. Your soulmate had unfinished karma, and so did you. There were lessons both of you needed to complete separately, or the connection would have turned painful. You needed to learn self-worth. They needed to learn emotional maturity. You needed to stop settling for less than you deserve. They needed to stop running from what their soul truly wants. You needed to heal from past disappointments. They needed to release old energies still attached to their heart. If heaven had brought you together earlier, your history would have collided with their wounds, and instead of healing each other, both of you would have bled on each other. So heaven waited. Patiently. Silently. Lovingly. Until both of you were ready. And now, this is the moment. My beloved child, I want you to notice something. Recently, your intuition has been louder. Your dreams have become clearer. Your heart feels a strange pull. A pull towards someone your mind does not fully understand yet. This pull is not anxiety. This pull is alignment. This pull is destiny waking up inside you. This is why you feel someone thinking of you. This is why you feel someone searching for you energetically. This is why you feel someone's soul calling out to you across distances. Your soulmate's identity is not only being exposed to you, your identity is being exposed to them. They are starting to sense you. They are starting to dream of someone who feels familiar. They are feeling drawn toward a future they can't explain. They feel an urge to leave behind things that no longer serve them. They feel a shift in their heart they do not understand. This is because heaven has begun removing the veil between you. My child, there is one more truth that will shake you. The person heaven hid from you is someone your soul already knows, deeply. Not always someone from your present. Not always someone from your past. But someone whose spirit has walked beside yours in ways your conscious mind cannot recall. Your souls have been tied before. Your hearts have met in another lifetime. Your energies recognize each other through dimensions. This is why the revelation feels intense. This is why the connection feels supernatural. This is why the timing feels divine. My child, you are not imagining this shift. You are not misreading the signs. You are not making up the intuition. Your spirit feels them because the veil is falling. And what heaven reveals now will not confuse you. It will awaken you. The identity that was hidden is rising into clarity. Their presence is approaching your timeline. Their soul is aligning with yours. And the destiny written for both of you is finally ready to unfold. My beloved child, come sit with this moment gently, because this is the place where heaven begins to turn your inner world toward truth. This is where the revelation becomes personal, where the identity of your soulmate is no longer a distant mystery but a living vibration moving closer to your reality. You will feel this part not just with your mind, but with your entire spirit. It will enter you like a quiet light, soft yet powerful, delicate yet undeniable. My child, listen carefully, because everything I am about to unfold is connected to the awakening you have recently felt inside you. You are not imagining what has been happening. Nothing is random. Nothing is meaningless. Every feeling, every sign, every sudden emotional shift is part of something much larger, a divine unveiling. The veil is thinning. The energy around you has changed. Your sensitivity has increased. Your intuition has become sharp. Your dreams have grown vivid. Your emotions rise unexpectedly. This is not instability, this is spiritual alignment. You are entering a phase where heaven reveals what it once hid. And the deeper reason your soulmate's identity remained concealed is now ready to rise into the light. My beloved child, you must first understand something profound. Your soulmate carries a spiritual role in your life, not just an emotional one. They are not just someone you will love, they are someone whose presence shifts your path. The moment they enter, things begin to move. Old patterns break. Hidden strengths awaken. Your purpose becomes clearer. Your spirit becomes steadier. Your life, its direction, its meaning, its rhythm, begins to align. Heaven had to keep such a person hidden until the exact divine second. Because once they step into your life, nothing will remain the same. My beloved child, let me take you deeper into what heaven sees from above, the cosmic landscape that you cannot yet see from where you stand. You and your soulmate, you are connected by a thread of destiny, woven long before birth, stretching across lifetimes and realms. Even when you felt alone, that thread was alive. Even when you believed no one was meant for you, that thread was still pulling both of you closer. Even when you questioned yourself, doubted love, and feared the unknown, the thread never loosened. But heaven kept the identity hidden because your souls were still traveling through corridors of lessons that needed to be walked separately. My child, do you remember the moments you felt abandoned? Do you remember the times you cried without knowing why? Do you remember the nights you questioned your worth, wondering if someone could ever truly see you? Those were not moments of hopelessness, they were moments of cleansing. Every heartbreak softened you. Every disappointment strengthened you. Every ending purified you. Every loss reshaped you. Your soul was being carved gently, so that when the right person came, you would not treat them as just another chapter. You would recognize them as your destiny. But your soulmate had their journey too. My child, listen closely, this is the part that will shake you. The person heaven hid from you has been watching you without realizing why. Not watching you physically, but feeling you spiritually. Your soulmate has felt your sadness without knowing the source. They have felt sudden waves of longing, they did not know it was you. They have felt a strange emptiness. They did not realize it was the absence of you. They have felt moments of emotional heaviness, without understanding they were connected to your spirit. Your souls mirror each other. When you break, they feel it. When you rise, they feel lighter. When you heal, their heart grows stronger. This is the hidden link heaven kept silent until now. My child, your soulmate wasn't revealed earlier because both your souls were healing each other from afar, quietly, energetically, silently. Without ever touching. You were helping them let go of their past. They were helping you rise from yours. Two souls healing at the same time, preparing for a moment when your timelines would finally merge. My beloved child, now I must show you the reason heaven protected this revelation for so long. Your soulmate carries a wound that runs deep, a wound from someone who broke them in a moment when they were open, trusting, innocent. They carry a fear of losing, a fear of failing, a fear of loving too deeply and then watching everything fall apart. They do not show this to the world. They walk with strength, but inside, something trembles. They smile, but something aches. They appear calm, but their heart still remembers the pain. Heaven had to wait for that wound to soften, not disappear completely, but soften enough so they would not project past pain onto a divine connection. Because you, my child, are not meant to be a rebound, a replacement, or another cycle in their history. You are meant to be the person their soul finally rests with. This is why your identity was hidden from them. If they had known too early, they might have run. They might have doubted themselves. They might have felt unworthy. They might have sabotaged what was meant for them. Heaven protected your love by protecting their heart. My beloved child, the moment is arriving. The moment when the identity hidden for years will glow with clarity in your spirit. But something else is happening too, something sacred. Your soulmate is being guided toward you with increasing intensity. They may not understand the pull, but they feel it. Their life is shifting in ways they cannot explain. They are losing interest in people around them. They are walking away from toxic connections. They feel tired of meaningless relationships. They sense something bigger calling them. They feel restless without knowing why. This restlessness, my child, is their soul searching for you. They feel a change coming. They feel something approaching. They feel their future moving toward them. They feel a presence, your presence, even if they can't name it yet. The identity heaven hid is rising through signs you cannot ignore, a sudden dream. A repeated name. A recurring face. A strange emotion. A pull you cannot control. Your soul has started remembering what heaven kept quiet. My beloved child, now hear this truth with courage. Your soulmate's identity is someone whose life will change the moment they recognize you, and yours will too. This is why heaven waited. This is why the divine timing was so precise. This is why every delay was protection. This is why every silence had meaning. This is why every heartbreak prepared you. This is why every ending moved you closer. My child, the revelation is close. Closer than you think. Closer than your fears. Closer than your doubts. Closer than your imagination. Your soulmate is not far. Not spiritually. Not emotionally. Not energetically. The veil between your hearts is dissolving. And soon, what was hidden will stand before you. What was silent will speak. What was distant will arrive. What was unclear will shine. Your destiny is shifting. Your heart is preparing. Your soul is awakening. And the love written for you is finally stepping out of the shadows. My beloved child, breathe softly and allow your spirit to open, because what I am about to unfold is not just information, it is an awakening. This part reveals how the divine union begins, how heaven arranges the meeting, and why your heart has been feeling so different lately. Everything is happening for a reason, and now I will show you that reason clearly. My child, you may not realize it yet, but your spirit has already stepped into the phase where destiny prepares you. The energy around you has shifted, your emotions are changing, your sensitivity has increased, and your heart feels something approaching. Heaven has begun moving the threads of your life into alignment, and you are standing at the doorway of something sacred. Before two souls destined for each other meet, the universe always prepares them separately. It softens their wounds, reshapes their paths, removes the wrong people, and lifts the veils of confusion. That is why lately you may feel overwhelmed one day and hopeful the next. That is why certain relationships feel distant. That is why old emotional patterns are breaking. This is not chaos. It is purification. Heaven is cleansing your life so that your heart can enter the next chapter without carrying the weight of yesterday. You cannot receive your soulmate with old fears. You cannot enter your destined union with past pain. You cannot walk into your divine relationship while holding on to people who were never meant to be part of your future. This is why the universe is clearing your path so gently, but so powerfully. If people are leaving, let them go. If conversations fade, allow them to fade. If old friendships feel heavy, trust that you are outgrowing them. Not everyone is meant to walk into the chapter where destiny rises. Heaven removes those who would block your emotional sunrise. And while this is happening to you, your soulmate is experiencing the same cleansing. They are stepping out of old connections. They are breaking the emotional cycles that once held them back. They are distancing themselves from people who drained their energy. They are letting go of the wounds that once kept them afraid of love. Their heart is being prepared just as yours is. Your spirits are being shaped at the same time, like two pieces of a puzzle being carved separately so that when you finally meet, you fit with divine perfection. My child, you must understand something sacred. Soulmate unions do not suddenly appear out of nowhere. They begin in the spiritual realm long before they become physical. Your souls have already started moving toward each other. The energetic pull has begun. The silent longing has awakened. The invisible thread is tightening. Your soulmate feels this too. They feel restless. They feel drawn toward something unknown. They feel a sudden emptiness in places where they once felt comfortable. They feel that someone is coming into their life, even though they don't know the name, the face, or the timing. But their intuition is whispering that change is near. You are not imagining your feelings, your souls are speaking. Something important is happening inside you, something that marks the beginning of divine union. You may be feeling emotional waves. You may sense someone's energy around you. You may dream of someone whose face you cannot clearly see. You may feel a sudden calmness that makes no logical sense. This is your heart preparing for recognition. Before a soulmate comes into your life, heaven always gives 3 gentle signs, and these signs are approaching you. The first sign is an emotional shift. Your heart will suddenly feel lighter, calmer, safer. A strange peace will enter your spirit. Something inside you will settle, as if your soul is whispering, "It is almost time." The second sign is a repeated message from the universe. It might come as a name you see everywhere, a number that keeps showing up, a location that follows you, a symbol that reappears, or a dream that refuses to fade. This is heaven pointing your awareness toward the path your soulmate is walking. The third sign is a sudden movement in your life. Something will change. An opportunity, a conversation, a new connection, a shift in environment. This movement will not be random. It will be heaven rearranging your life so you and your soulmate can finally cross paths. My beloved child, your soulmate is also praying for clarity right now. They feel guided towards something bigger. They feel they are meant to meet someone who brings peace, not pain. They feel the pull without knowing it is you. Their soul is calling yours, and your spirit is answering. The union will not come through struggle, it will come through alignment. You will not need to chase. You will not need to force. You will not need to fear. The moment meant for you will arrive with so much ease, grace, and divine flow that your heart will recognize it instantly. The revelation of your soulmate's identity is approaching. The timing is closer than you imagine, but the universe moves gently so that your heart is fully ready. Your future is shifting. Your path is clearing. Your spirit is rising. Everything that felt confusing will soon make sense. Everything that felt heavy will soon feel light. Everything that once felt distant will move closer. The love written for you is already beginning its journey into your life. My beloved child, let your heart be calm for a moment, because what I am about to tell you will touch the deepest part of your soul. You have walked a long path of confusion, waiting, fear, longing, and mixed signs. And now you stand at the doorway of something that will finally make sense. Heaven has been unfolding a truth around you quietly, patiently, gently. Your soulmate's identity is not just a name, it is a destiny, a purpose, a reason your life has been shaped the way it has. And now, in this final part, I will show you the meaning behind every delay, every silence, every divine pause, and why heaven hid their name until this very moment. My child, there is something you must understand before anything else. Your soulmate carries a purpose that is tied to your future. Not just a romantic moment, not just a simple emotional connection, but a divine destiny that will shape the rest of your life. Heaven didn't hide their name from you because you weren't ready to meet them. Heaven hid their name because your spirit was not prepared to receive the truth of who they are. Because when the heart is wounded, even the right person can look like the wrong one. When your mind is clouded, even destiny can feel like confusion. There were moments when you thought, why can't I recognize who my soulmate truly is? There were nights when you whispered, why doesn't God show me the truth clearly? And deep down, you sometimes felt like you were walking blindfolded in your own love story. But my child, this was not confusion, it was protection. If heaven had revealed this person too early, you would have judged them by their temporary behavior, not their eternal connection with you. You would have looked at their current situation, not their divine purpose. You would have seen their habits, not their healing. You would have focused on their wounds, not their growth. Heaven was waiting until both of you were spiritually aligned. Until the version of you that exists today was born. Until the version of them that is rising inside their spirit became strong enough to meet you heart to heart, soul to soul, purpose to purpose. My beloved child, your soulmate's identity is now being revealed because something inside you has changed. You are no longer desperate. You are no longer begging for love. You are no longer holding on to people who hurt you repeatedly. You are no longer confused about your own worth. You are no longer mistaking attachment for destiny. You are no longer asking, will they choose me, because you finally understand, the divine love written for you cannot be stolen, delayed, or replaced. Your soulmate is someone who has gone through their own storms silently. Someone who has battled their own demons alone. Someone who has cried behind closed doors, just like you. Someone who has lost themselves and found themselves again. Someone who has been searching for a love that feels like safety, truth, and home, and that love is you. But my child, here is the truth heaven hid from you until now. Your soulmate is someone you would have misjudged if you knew too soon. They may have been immature when you first crossed paths. They may have been broken when destiny whispered your name to their soul. They may have been surrounded by the wrong people, trapped in wrong environments, or stuck in situations that blinded them from seeing the truth. They may not have recognized your value then, but their soul did. Their soul always did. Heaven kept their name hidden because you needed time to heal the wounds that would have sabotaged this connection. And they needed time to heal the wounds that would have harmed you. Because love without healing collapses. Love without growth becomes toxic. Love without alignment becomes painful. And heaven refused to let your destiny turn into a burden. My child, your soulmate has recently gone through something that shook them deeply. Something that forced them to look at their life through the eyes of truth. Something that made them realize that every connection, every past relationship, every attachment, every distraction, felt empty because their soul was meant to walk toward you. They have been trying to replace you without even knowing they were doing it. They tried to fill the void with temporary people, temporary comfort, temporary attachments, and every time, they felt emptiness return. Because the love written for them carries your energy, your frequency, your soul's signature. And now, heaven has finally opened their eyes. They have begun to see signs everywhere, your name, your birth date, your face in dreams, your presence in moments when they feel lost. The universe is pushing them toward you now because the time of separation is ending. The season of confusion is breaking. The silence is dissolving. Their awakening has begun. But my child, there is a deeper truth. A truth that will shake you gently but powerfully. Your soulmate was fighting something impossible to see with your human eyes. Fear. Fear of failing you. Fear of not being enough. Fear of repeating their past mistakes. Fear of disappointing you the way others disappointed them. Fear of opening their heart again. Fear of trusting love after being betrayed. Fear of stepping into a love that is too deep, too real, too powerful. Heaven hid their identity because their fear would have sabotaged the connection before it truly started. Because love that triggers unhealed trauma can make a person run, hide, push away, or shut down. But their fear is melting now. Your soulmate is stepping out of their old identity. They are stepping out of their past patterns. They are stepping out of their comfort zones. They are stepping into a version of themselves that is finally aligned with your energy. My beloved child, listen carefully. Your soulmate is someone whose presence will feel like truth. Someone whose voice will calm your spirit. Someone whose touch will heal wounds you thought would last forever. Someone who will love you with a depth that feels ancient, timeless, destined. Someone who will look at you with eyes that say, I finally found you. They are coming toward you with clarity they never had before. With courage they never carried before. With determination they never showed before. With love they never understood until heaven awakened them. This is why heaven hid their name. Because now the moment has arrived. Now the timing is perfect. Now your heart is ready. Now their soul is aligned. Now destiny is moving. My child, the next days are important. You will feel their energy strongly. You may dream of them. You may sense their emotions. You may feel a sudden pull toward a direction you didn't expect. You may feel warmth in your chest, heaviness lifting from your spirit, or a quiet whisper in your intuition guiding you. This is the universe preparing you for the final step. Your soulmate will soon be revealed to you in a way that feels undeniable. It may be through a message, a call, a sudden meeting, an unexpected moment, or a divine sign so strong you cannot ignore it. The waiting is ending. The confusion is ending. The silence is ending. The hidden truth is emerging. My beloved child, heaven is opening the path. Your soulmate's identity is no longer a mystery. It is becoming clear because your soul is finally ready to receive the love written for you. And when they come, it will change everything. My beloved child, come closer, because what I am about to reveal will settle your heart, clear your doubts, and prepare you for the moment you have been waiting for. You have walked through confusion, signs, whispers, hidden truths, and divine timing. And now, heaven wants you to understand the deepest and final layer of your soulmate's story, the layer that was never shown to you before, the layer that explains everything, the delays, the silence, the distance, the confusion, the longing, and the sudden awakening happening inside them right now. My child, listen gently, because this truth is soft, delicate, and sacred. Your soulmate has finally reached the point in their journey where their soul cannot run from destiny anymore. They cannot deny the connection their heart feels for you. They cannot hide behind fear, trauma, ego, or pride. They cannot pretend their life makes sense without you. Heaven has cornered their soul with truth, and every path they take leads them back to you. But the final reason heaven hid their identity until now is something even more powerful. Your soulmate needed to break free from a karmic cycle before they could hold your hand. They were tangled in something old. A pattern. A wound. A story. A fear. A relationship that served as a lesson, not a lifetime. A person who drained their soul but taught them what real love is not. A cycle they kept repeating unconsciously. If they had come to you before breaking that cycle, they would have carried that old pain into your connection. It would have hurt you. It would have confused you. It would have made you question yourself, your worth, and your place in their life. So heaven pulled you back. Not because you weren't meant for each other, but because the connection was too sacred to be poisoned by timing. My child, your soulmate has been going through a cleansing. A spiritual detox of their emotions, their past, their patterns, and their wounds. They have been facing truths they were afraid to admit. They have been shedding layers they no longer need. They have been transforming in silence, away from your eyes, but not away from your heart. And now, something extraordinary is happening. Their soul is waking up. They are remembering the feeling of you. They are remembering the peace your presence brings. They are remembering the light they sensed when your paths crossed. They are remembering the warmth their heart felt when your energy touched theirs. They are remembering the destiny their soul whispered long before their mind understood. This awakening is not small, my child. It is powerful, intense, undeniable. They are starting to realize, why does everything remind me of them? Why can I not detach from their energy? Why does every sign point back to them? Why does my heart feel incomplete without them? Why do I feel like I've known them forever? Because destiny is removing the veil. Because the time of hiding is over. Because heaven needs you both aligned now. My child, in this final part, you must understand the truth of your role in their life. You were not just a person who crossed their path. You were a turning point. A mirror. A catalyst. A divine reminder. A soul activation. You awakened a part of them they had buried for years. You triggered growth they never expected. You stirred emotions they tried to suppress. You touched wounds they never healed. You made their soul feel alive again. And destiny never lets go of the one who awakens the soul. The reason your soulmate struggled to come toward you earlier is because loving you requires courage. Loving you requires truth. Loving you requires change. Loving you requires stepping into a new version of themselves, a version they weren't ready for before. But they are ready now. Your soulmate is standing on the edge of transformation. They are choosing honesty over fear. Healing over running. Love over ego. Truth over confusion. Destiny over old patterns. Their heart is preparing to come forward. And when they do, it will not be with half love, half effort, or half truth. They will come with clarity, commitment, understanding, honesty, depth, presence, and a kind of love that stays. Because heaven has made them realize that losing you would mean losing their divine path. Losing the one connection that feels like home. Losing the one soul that mirrors their own. My beloved child, the final message you need to hear is this. Your soulmate is closer to you than you think. Closer in energy. Closer in intention. Closer in emotion. Closer in realization. Something is shifting inside them. Something is calling them forward. Something is pulling them toward you with a strength they can no longer resist. In the coming days, you may feel a sudden wave of warmth in your chest. A strange peace that settles on your spirit. A dream that feels too real to ignore. A sign that appears repeatedly. A deep knowing that something is moving. A message you didn't expect. A feeling of reunion growing stronger. These are not coincidences. These are preparations. Destiny is clearing the path. Heaven is guiding the connection. Your soulmate is awakening to the truth. And the veil that once hid their identity is lifting completely. My child, the wait is ending. Your soulmate is stepping into your life not as the confused version you once knew, but as the awakened soul you were always destined to meet. And when they come, you will understand why everything happened the way it did. Why heaven hid their name until now. Why your patience mattered. Why your tears were not wasted. Why your heart never let go. The final chapter is beginning. And this time, destiny is not delaying anything.